reading that book these days. I thought it was interesting. Let's a few stories to go over here. Just a sec. Let me pull it up. Not that one. Not that one. There we go. So you're wondering what that is. That is surveillance footage of these guys who robbed a Lululemon. Is that? I believe that's how you pronounce it. Don Lemon. Lululemon CEO who fired employees for confronting thieves stands by decision. It's only merchandise. Lululemon CEO stands by his decision to axe two employees who called the police while three masked men robbed a Georgia outpost, citing the company's zero-tolerance policy for intervening with a robbery as reason for firing the workers. And he says, we have a zero-tolerance policy that we train our educators on around engaging during a theft. Educators are what Lululemon calls its workers. He says that they fired the two female employees because they didn't abide by the company policy, which says that employees shouldn't engage thieves. I mean, this place, and you'll see this has been a repeat problem down there, and this is the attitude now: is don't try to stop the thieves. I understand to a degree. I understand why the company has that policy. Like they, whatever amount of merch is being taken is probably a relative drop in the bucket for them. But I wonder if they're thinking of that in like a one-time, one-off kind of thing, because now it's happening so much that stores are starting to lock stuff up. Like I can't really go to the fucking Walgreens in my neighborhood anymore to get like necessities like shampoo or whatever, because they're so understaffed because nobody wants to work anymore. And like I feel bad. There's like a cadre of people that I've seen working there forever, and I feel legitimately bad for them because they're hard workers. Like I go in and I see like they're fucking trying to stock shelves and shit and run the register. It looks like it's a fucking nightmare, and you can't really blame them. Like they're working, they're there. It's the other people who aren't, and this is again, like if you're in, there's probably a big overlap between people who would be working at a Walgreens and people who want the government to pay for their entire college education. You can't get a bottle of fucking shampoo because they're all locked up, and there's not enough people to run the register and open the thing. And it says press a button to call for help, except there is no button. I have not found the button at this place. I know that these buttons exist. I've seen them elsewhere. You can press it. Someone comes over. They don't have it there. I'm convinced that they just didn't install the button because they were like, yeah, it's not worth it because we're going to keep getting buzzed over and there's going to be a line through it. It's just going to turn into fucking pandemonium. So like, fuck it. We won't sell the shampoo. But we're getting to a point now where you can just go in and walk out with your arms full. Like, I want to rob a fucking Lululemon now. I can just do that. I'll take the shit. I'll set up a fucking table at a flea market. I'm not going to do it on fucking eBay so you can trace me. I'll go set it up on a fucking table at a swap meet or a flea market. I'll charge a fraction of the cost and I'll clean the fuck up. Yeah. He's saying that it's because of safety, which again, I understand that. Like, he doesn't want, if one of these guys has a fucking firearm and you try to tussle with him, and he's trying to make off with hundreds of, probably thousands of dollars worth merchandise from a play. Like their prices are ridiculous. It's like $100 for a hoodie. Um, he might shoot you over that, right? That is in some people's minds. People get shot in during bodega robberies in New York City, like a place that sells candy bars. People will shoot you over a pair of $200 leggings, not just a pair. You can fit Lululemon. It's athletic wear for tiny chicks. You carry a lot of that shit. You carry a couple $1,000 of that in your arms, no problem. And if there's three of you doing this, if you have 2 G's worth of shit over each shoulder, and some pain in the ass store, an educator, I don't know the fuck they call them that for, you might shoot someone, because now we're talking about, three of you could feasibly run out of there with like 20,000 worth of shit, and for some people, a three-way split on that could potentially be life-changing money. But at the same time, this does have to be stopped, because the problem is that it extends beyond just that moment, right? It doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's you can do it everywhere, and we can't stop it. We're not going to stop it. Can't stop, won't stop. And now it's just a society where taking things is acceptable. And there are people who believe that, like, you should be able to go occupy someone's home or squat on someone's property. And it's, at what point, because it's creeping close. Like, if apparently, like, Southern California, there's just homeless camps all over the fucking place, like in residential neighborhoods. So it's like, it's just a slow creep of us accepting that this is it's no way to have a society with fucking rampant thievery and people setting up tent villages in the middle of suburban neighborhoods are just not, like, it's up there with, using needle drugs on the subway stairs, shitting on the sidewalk. Like, there's certain stuff that we can't have happen. It has to not be. We do need to confront it at, like, literally, not to compare this to the Holocaust, but like the Jews and like the Israelis are with anti-Semitism, it must be confronted whenever it rears its head. Like, whenever a turd dangles out of a homeless man's butthole on a sidewalk in New York City, whenever a bundle of $200 sweatshirts walks through the automatic doors at a Lululemon without being paid for, whenever I have to wait 20 minutes to get a fucking bottle of conditioner because the only person who can open the now under lock and key $5 bottle of shampoo, we're really losing steam as a society. And you're like, at this point, I think that's where all the alien chatter is coming from. Is people are so done with the human race. We're just stupid. We're a bunch of fucking idiots. We don't have our shit together, that they're like, you know what? Gotta be someone. It's gotta be someone in the fucking galaxy, who isn't a complete fucking disaster. Like, show yourself. You figured out? We would like to meet the species that figured out relatively stealth interstellar travel. You know, because we haven't been able to get past shitting on the sidewalk. Or I wonder if they have their sidewalk shitters up there. And I mentioned India earlier in the show. It's literally people, that's a behavior once reserved for the slums of Calcutta is now it's just accepted in New York City. I was even in Jersey City, which is like I consider Hoboken and downtown Jersey City, and my neighborhood, the Heights, to be among the nicest, cleanest, safest parts of the New York metro area. If we're talking New York City, fucking the four boroughs: Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Bronx, and then some of the areas up and down this stretch, fucking Bayonne up to like say like North Bergen, Fort Lee, or whatever. Among them, as far as the more urban parts of that space go, Hoboken, Jersey City, very nice. But I can't walk down the street without paying close attention to the fucking ground because there's just shit all over the place. People are just shitting. And sometimes it's dog shit. A lot of times it's not. A lot of human shit out there. Like too much human shit. And this is just, if we're accepting stuff like this, we're starting to really, really roll back to a time that I don't think any of us want to live through. I do not want to. I don't want human shit to be a concern when I walk down the sidewalk anymore. And it starts at Lululemon. And this line, this last piece is really interesting. The men wearing sweatshirts with a hood pulled over their heads, they were recorded swiping Lululemon's high-priced athletic wear from tables and displays. Just fucking... The looters who had allegedly struck the store nearly a dozen times prior momentarily stood in the doorway and stared at the women before jumping back inside to snatch several more pairs of leggings. They're treating the place like a fucking ATM. And one of the women who was fired yelled, "Seriously, get out." And one of the guys responded, "Chill, bitch, shut your ass up." Shut your ass up. Chill, bitch. Yeah. Can you imagine how brazen that is? Just the guy. I don't even think it doesn't even feel like they had weapons. Like they just fucking, like they just showed up with bags. Like they're fucking shopping. This is what we're doing now. This is insane. Yeah, do they have bags or this? Look at this. Do you know how much this is? Dozens of times. You don't need to work if you're doing this, by the way. I guess this is work for them. Fair enough. At least they did get up and do something. Unlike the lazy sacks of shit who aren't working at the Walgreens, and unlike the guys who are acting like they're doing something of importance, reading 48 Laws of Power. I will say this for these guys. These guys are go-getters. There is an effort to this. But again, we can't have a society where the Lululemon gets casually looted on dozens of occasions. That's gotta go. Chill, bitch. Chill, bitch. That reminds me of in 10th grade. I under my breath called a substitute teacher a bitch, and I got in trouble for it. I didn't say chill, bitch. That's a great fucking line, by the way. I fucking chill, bitch. Chill, bitch. Shut your ass up. I love that line. I would love to hear Dennis Falcone say that line. I would make that I would make that my ringtone. Um, yeah, ridiculous. And I don't think they should have been fired for it. That's fucking ridiculous. These women, if they're going through this that often, because it must be terrifying for them to a degree. Because that's not a safe energy. Like, yeah, you assume they're just gonna run in and grab the shit, but again, like, eventually you will feel unsafe and vulnerable. And now they've been fired. I hope someone reaches out and hires them, and I hope they sue Lululemon over it. Oh yes. Oh yeah. I wish we had the comments section tonight. I'm sorry. Hasta la vista, fellas. And our next story, I am so excited about this.